WWE fans brought up a pretty crazy stat involving Rhea Ripley, so we'll see what that's about. We'll also check out what's going on with Seth, CM Punk, and more. Starting things off with Seth Rollins, because yet again another major update has now come out regarding what's happening for him and his apparent knee injury. New reports have just came out that are supporting the idea that everything that happened at Saturday night's main event with Seth Rollins in the closing moments of the match with LA Knight was fake and staged. The alleged word there is that Seth is dealing with a very minor injury that will keep him out of action for a brief amount of time. So it looks like they came up with the whole injury angle as a way to very publicly write Seth off with an injury and make it seem serious. That means that the landing on the knee and grabbing of it by Seth was fake. The conversation with the doctors and Paul Heyman, every single part of it was fake. Even the off-screen stuff such as Seth cursing at ringside as he was helped all the way to the backstage area, all of that was apparently all part of the show for this injury angle. And fans are a bit suspicious of this being the storyline injury for several reasons. First one being that when you watch the landing that Seth was apparently injured on, there doesn't seem to be much of a buckling even happening there with the knee. Another storyline sign was the manner in how Paul Heyman and Triple H both spoke about the injury, hinting at the idea that Seth was out for the long haul and that it was bad. Another big giveaway was the fact that Seth Rollins was hosting the Rich Eisen show this week, and you kind of figure that someone that completely shattered their knee would have been getting instant surgery and getting it repaired right away. But Seth is out and about, hosting talk shows, having a good time. That definitely appears to support the report that Seth is just nursing a minor injury, and that whole big injury angle is just part of a storyline. So Seth and WWE really scared the life out of the fans at Saturday night's main event with that injury angle, but it looks safe for the fans to exhale and relax. It was just for a storyline, and Seth is not actually dealing with a devastating injury. It's something short term, and he's going to be back in action pretty soon. What's the purpose of this injury angle? Well, the answer appears to be exactly what we were talking about the other day. They're trying to set up the narrative that Seth is dealing with his injury similar to a torn ACL, how he'll be out of action from anywhere from 6 to 9 months. They want you to fully believe in that recovery time frame for Seth Rollins, but then bring him back way before with an explosive, unexpected, shocking Money in the Bank cash-in. And believe it or not, this is actually a newer approach for a cash-in angle. In all the years of the Money in the Bank contract, we've never seen an injured contract holder make a surprise return to cash in and shock everyone with an early return. We've never seen anything like that. So if they go ahead with this idea and direction, it would count as a big first time ever scenario for that contract. Contract holders are always getting big receptions with their music hits, and they're always running down the ramp with a referee. But you got to imagine the reception will be even larger if they hammer into your head that Seth is gone for 9 months, and then he returns in the matter of a few weeks for a cash-in. You got to imagine that whole scenario they built up there would create quite possibly the biggest cash-in pop of all time if executed properly. And like we even said before, a lot of fans are looking at SummerSlam as a cash-in possibility. No one would be expecting it. Everyone thinks Seth is gone for good, and then he comes out there for the cash-in. But even if they don't do it at SummerSlam and hold off a little bit longer, that'll be great too. It'll create this uncertainty and uncomfortable feeling for both men's world champions, because you know Seth is allegedly hurt, but you can never be too sure, and maybe they'll be suspicious of a cash-in return from him as well. So it's definitely setting up this big unique return concept. We've never seen anyone make their WWE return immediately and directly into the Money in the Bank cash-in, so it would no doubt be one of the most exciting moments of the year. Fans have started to point out a logical issue in WWE when it comes to the usage of Rhea Ripley. The last 10 WWE Women's World Title matches dating back to SummerSlam 2024 have featured Rhea Ripley 9 of those championship matches. And in the most recent 4 matches, Rhea Ripley has lost all 4, yet she's getting another championship match at SummerSlam after coming off the 4 straight title match losses. So it's not an issue with Rhea Ripley. She's a massive star and deserves to always be in the world title picture, but it does highlight a lot of logical issues with the booking of championship matches and really showcases the inconsistencies. Adam Pearce and Nick Aldis will often give WWE characters a hard time about championship matches, saying that they're not just given out. how they have to be earned, how you have to go back to the line after losing. And that would sound good and look good if that logic applied to all superstars, because you have Rhea Ripley coming off 4 straight championship match losses, and she's continuing to get more title opportunities without technically doing anything to earn them. So it's not a knock at Rhea Ripley, but definitely a knock at the logic and inconsistencies there from the general manager characters. They say that everyone has to earn title opportunities, but there's some cases that prove that's not really true. So we'll see if another world opportunity awaits Rhea Ripley following the triple threat at SummerSlam. As everyone knows, CM Punk returned to WWE in late 2023, just a few months away from being gone from the company for a full 10 years. And everyone has always been wondering if there was ever any moves made by either side to come back together before that 2023 return. And according to Punk, there were some serious discussions and things in the works right around that 2018-2019 time period regarding CM Punk and WWE reuniting. While speaking with Robbie Fox, CM Punk recalled the full story of how the early return fell apart. He had this to say, quote, "I think the Twitter and the internet perception is I tried to get back to WWE and they didn't want me, so I went and did the Fox show. That's not what happened at all. I had a hilarious clandestine meeting in the Borgata in Atlantic City with Vince McMahon and Triple H. This had to be 2018 or 19, and it's just because Vince just started calling. I had agents, they were telling me, hey, they want to talk to you. And I was like, whatever, I'm not interested. And then Vince just started calling me. He was like, hey, I'm eliminating the middleman. And I was just like, this is insane. And it just so happened that, oh well, I'm gonna be here. All right, we can get there, okay, all right. We had a meeting and we had a handshake agreement, and then he ghosted me. So that's why it didn't happen. Unbelievable. I'm gonna write a book someday. It's a great story. It's a fantastic story." End quote. CM Punk also noted it was a private meeting here in the late 2010s where he started to put the issues with Triple H behind him. He was ready for a return. A handshake agreement was reached, but it fell apart because of Vince McMahon having no follow-up there with CM Punk. So just an intriguing story on how we could have seen CM Punk's return way earlier than 2023. But what are your thoughts on today's stories? Leave your comments below. Don't forget to subscribe with all notifications on, and leave a like if you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, guys.